unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcend the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Not unfailing in all circumstances, whatever happens, Krishna, I will not leave your hand. I will not leave bhakti. Whether good happens in my life or bad happens, I will never leave you. This verse is a reply to Arjuna's third question: what is the means of attaining to the transcendental position? As explained before, the material world is acting under the spell of modes of material nature. One should not be disturbed by the activities of modes of nature. Instead of putting his consciousness into such activities, he may transfer his consciousness to Krishna's activity. Everything we have to dovetail for Krishna, every tendency. Instead of putting his conscience such activities, he may transfer to Krishna. Krishna's activities are known as Bhakti Yoga, always acting for Krishna. This includes not only Krishna but his different plenary expansions such as Rama and Narayana. He has innumerable expansions. One who is engaged in the service of any form of Krishna or his plenary expansion is considered to be transcendently situated. One should also note that all forms of Krishna are fully transcendental, blissful, full of knowledge, and eternal. Such personalities of Godhead are omnipotent and omniscient. Omnipotent means they can award us and they are available everywhere. And they possess all transcendental qualities. So if one engage himself in the service of Krishna or his plenary expansion with unfailing determination, although these modes of material nature are very difficult to overcome, one can overcome them easily. Taking temporary inconvenience for permanent convenience. Not easy, but we have to work towards that. This has already been explained in 7 chapter. One who surrenders unto Krishna at once surmounts the influence of modes of material nature. To be in Krishna consciousness or in devotional service means to acquire equality with Krishna. The Lord says that his nature is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge, and the living entities are part and parcel of Krishna, as gold particles are part of gold mine. So the idea is the whole theme of the theme of this verse is taking taking temporary inconvenience for permanent convenience. What is permanent convenience? Getting away with three modes of material nature and being in Krishna's abode, going back to spiritual world. So whatever temporary inconveniences we are going through, coming for Bhagavad Gita classes, doing services, chanting, of doing Ekadashi, offering everything to Krishna and eat that. These are temporary inconveniences which will lead us to go above these three modes of material nature. Right? So that's the whole idea of this verse. I think we will end here. If there are any questions, which one? Hmm?
One more verse, the chapter will end.
One. This 27 is the last verse.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, probably.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah. Brahmano hi pratisthaham
Brahmano hi pratisthaham
amritasya vyavasya cha.
amrutasya vyavasya cha
Sorry. Vyayasya cha. Sorry. Sashvatasya cha dharmasya
sasvatasya cha dharma cha
sukhasya cha.
sukasya ikantikasya cha.
And Krishna says, I am the basis of impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and that consider a position of ultimate happiness. We want to go above even that this thing. So Prabhupada is mentioning here in the purport that the consideration of Brahman is immortality, imperishability, eternity, and happiness. Brahman is the beginning of transcendental realization. So first is Brahman, second is Paramatma, third is Bhagwan. So what we are practicing in Krishna consciousness is a Bhagwan realization. Right? That is the whole point. So that is covered in the first part. In the second part, Prabhupada explains the living entity, although Brahman by nature has desire to lord it over the material world. That's the problem. We are connected, we are eternal soul, but we want to lord over this material nature. That's why we come under the modes of material nature. So we have to leave that habit. Right? That's the whole point which is spoken. Prabhupada writes in the end, devotional service to the Lord is very simple. One should always engage in the service of Lord, should eat the remnants of foodstuff, which is offering the food to Bhoga, to Krishna, and then eat, smell the flowers offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, see the places where Lord had his transcendental pastimes, going to holy places, and read the different activities of the Lord, which we are doing now. His reciprocation of love with devotees. Chant always the transcendental vibration. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. That is the ultimate goal. And by doing these practices, sometimes we have these three modes of nature. We are overcoming these three modes of material nature. I gave an example about Janmashtami. It will permanently happen even in this body, and ultimately after leaving this body we'll go back to the permanent convenient place, right? That's the whole idea. Any questions or comments? We ended chapter 14, we will continue on chapter 15. Mamita Mataji, any questions or comments? Okay, I assume no. Harish Prabhu, you're all set? You're all set? Wonderful, thank you, Mataji. Wonderful. So we will continue next week from chapter 15. um Yeah, that's a very beautiful chapter, the yoga of the Supreme Person.